The EF, no, we've already looked at the TRO, the UBL last week, but in the word trouble-free, on your outline there, I want to give you just a few things here that we have built upon already to go in as well. The E, the F, and the R from Psalm 143. It lays it out so beautifully. So here's the point we have right here. Here's the E. Ear to my supplication, verse 1. So in Psalm 143, David is actually on the run from Saul. As you recall in 1 Samuel chapter 17, Saul defeated Goliath. And he defeated Goliath because at that point, God had already, he said it grieved him. He made Saul king. And so even though he didn't have the office, David was now the appointed and anointed king, although Saul was still in the office. So after David had defeated Goliath in 1 Samuel chapter 17, in 1 Samuel chapter 18, because it said that the Spirit of God had left Saul, he was just on edge about everything. So they go back in, and again, they had a ticker tape parade talking about how they're victorious, and some women started singing a song. Saul has slain thousands. David has slain 10,000s. And that's how they were singing. Saul heard that and got upset and jealous with David. Now, David just kept him from being killed. And some women out here singing a song in the street in a ticker tape parade. And Saul gets so mad, he gets a spear and tries to throw it against David and almost kills him. So David is on the run for, in some accounts say, for 3 years when Saul has his army trying to take him out. And we talked about before, at least 2 times David could have taken him out. One time, David and his men, as we said before, over in the back of a cave, and Saul went in to relieve himself. And then he went back out, and the men said, "Look, God," and you always got some men. So the men was with David. God, he puts Saul into your hand. He's already in a vulnerable position. Take him out. And David said, No, he is still God's anointed. Touch not God's anointed. And then the men were like, he's trying to kill you, right? He said, I know. I'm here appointed right now, but I still honor and respect him. So I'm not going to kill him. So at least 2 times, David could have killed Saul. And so this is when Saul is after David. And it says right now, God, give ear to my supplications. In other words, listen to me when I'm crying. And in other words, I'm going through some difficulties right now, and I'm going through some trouble right now, and I'm about to lose it, but I need to know right now that you're listening to me. And you got to know, believe that God has already heard your prayer, and God has already given ear to whatever your supplication is. Now, here's the point. Supplication we've talked about before is a specific request, but it really is this, though. It is a request or petition or cry for favor. So what David said, I need favor to be delivered from Saul. I need favor to make sure that Saul's men don't take me out. I need favor. So it says, God, give ear to my supplication. Here's the next. Now, this is what we know about. Here's what an enemy does this. It says in verse 3, the enemy has pursued and persecuted my soul. The enemy's job is to take us out. God's job is to take us up. And God can even use an enemy to take us up. I say the enemy's job is to take you down. God's job is to do what? Take us up. And God is so powerful, he can even use at this point the enemy to take you up. Psalm 110:1 says, the Lord says to my Lord, sit here at my right hand until my enemies become my footstool. I'm going to use your enemies, God says, to take you higher. I'm going to have you pray like you never prayed before, because your enemy trying to take you out, and you know I'm taking you up. The enemy, sit here and stay right here until your enemies are below you and raise you even higher. So the enemies try to persecute them and pursue them. But then it says in verse 9, God delivered from all the enemies. There is not an enemy that God has not delivered us from. Say it with me right now. There is not an enemy that God has not delivered me from. Please give God a hand, God, a prayer that God has delivered us from every enemy. So even though the enemy is pursuing us and trying to persecute our soul, God has already made a promise you're delivered. You may not see it. Here's the point. David was delivered while Saul was still after him. Oh, I got to stay here for it. David was delivered. Why? Because what happened? Because God had already declared it and decreed it. You're just waiting for the manifestation to be seen. So here's the point. Too many of us have not seen the manifestation, and we don't think it's going to happen. But it's already been decreed. It's already been decreed you walk in favor. It's already been decreed right now you're extraordinary. It's already been decreed you are more than enough. It's already been decreed. It's already been decreed. And now our faith says, I'm going to stay right here and trust God until I see what God has decreed. And so David was already delivered before Saul was killed. While Saul was after him, David was delivered. And my point is, it's about saying, I believe what God has said, even if I don't see it, feel it, or experience it. Now watch this. Let me give this F right here. So here's the point. How do believers make it during a time of trouble? Let's give you this F and give you one R here. So this is it right here. This is our verse right here. Verse 8, Amplified Classic. Please read this with me. This is David talking to God. For on you do I lean, and in you do I trust. That's it right there. How do we make it through times of trouble? I'm going to lean on God and trust completely in Him. I'm going to lean on God. I'm not going to lean to my own understanding. I'm not going to lean to what the news feed is on Facebook. I'm going to lean on God and then trust Him totally. How do you make it through trouble? Because at this point, if I already know, Jesus says, in this world you have trouble, but be of good cheer, I overcome the world. He has already overcome the world, and He lives inside of me, so I've already overcome as well. I'm just waiting to see the manifestation. And while I'm waiting on the manifestation, I got to lean on and trust in God. Come on, somebody. I got to lean. See, here's what happens. When we're going through trouble, many of us are leaning on people, and they can't help you out. If some of the same folk you lean on, they got some stuff going on, they ain't listen to what you're saying. They got to lean on God. I got to lean and depend on God when I'm going through trouble. And I got to trust Him completely. I got to trust Him completely. What's trust about? Say what trust is. What is trust? It is totally relying until sin triumphs. Oh, glory to God. I'm going to keep on relying on God until I see the triumph that's already. So I may not see my triumph right now, but I'm going to keep on leaning. I'm going to keep on relying. I'm going to keep on trusting. I'm going to totally rely on God. I'm not going to lean to my own understanding. Not going to try to figure it out. Not going to try to go ahead and put something on Twitter and something over here on LinkedIn and somebody help me out. I'm going to lean on God because God has a word that has already brought me out. And I praise God. I already have a word that's going to take me higher. I got to lean on and depend on and trust God. We are trusting people more than God. Trusting that pew going to keep you up right now more than God. Trusting the car, even though the little yellow light was on with no gas. Trusting that more than God. At some point, I got to start. I love this. I got to lean on God. And I got to totally trust on God. All the time, but especially in my trouble. Watch what it says right here. So please read this with me. Trust God. Read the bottom. Faith isn't about asking God to stop the storm. Faith is about trusting God to help you through the storm. Everybody here has been through a storm. I said everybody's been through a storm. But God has already brought you through some storms in life. As He brought you through before, He's going to bring you through this as well. You got to know that God has already, He's not going to bring you through. You already been brought through. And it's about saying that God, in the midst of this storm, I'm still going to come through this storm, but I'm not going to drown. May lose a single, but the house still there. May you use a little leaf, but praise God, the house. I got to trust God that God's going to bring me through the storm. How do we make it through times of trouble? This is the F right here. I'm going to give you one L, that's it. Well, get this F right here from verse 10. For you are my God. Teach me to do your will. So in the midst of the trouble, I'm recognizing you are my God. And since you are my God, I'm open to doing your will. I tried things my way and made the trouble worse. Amen, somebody. But now I'm acknowledging you are my God, And I'm teaching, here's what the implication is. I don't know the will of God until I'm taught the will of God. And I've got to be open enough to be taught. The problem is some Christians just can't be taught anything. They know everything. At some point, once I recognize that God, you're my God, and now I thank you that in this situation, you have a perfect pathway for me to handle this. Teach me your will. I'm in trouble right now, but you already got an escape plan for me. Teach me your will. I'm going through right now, and I want to smack them back. But God, I thank you right now. Trust me. I'm trusting you enough. Teach me your will. In other words, show me the way to get out of the trouble that you have already made a way for me. Our challenge is we have an escape path. We just choose to go another way. GPS, God's positioning system, said go right. I don't want to go right. I'm going to go left and wonder why it gets worse. At some point, God, I trust you are my God. Teach me. I'm open to learning your will. So let me give you 3 A's right here. What does it say right here? First of all, I got to acknowledge. I got to acknowledge he's my God. I got to acknowledge that he knows more than me. I got to acknowledge and admit he knows more than I do. But once I acknowledge it, I got to accept the fact that what he wants me to do may be different than what I want to do. Amen. That I got to accept that maybe his ways are not my ways. And his wills are not my will. And his thoughts are not my thoughts. I got to acknowledge that he's my God. Got to go in and accept that he has the best way for me. You know what Psalm 32:8 says? That the Lord at that point guides us along the best path for our lives. Say, repeat this with me. God guides me along the best path for my life. And he advises me and watches over me. That's from Psalm 32:8. So I got to accept the fact that God has the best plan for me. And then what happens? Then I got to apply what he told me to do. I can't just sit back. The Holy Spirit is prompting, and the Holy Spirit is leading. Now I got to apply. Now you taught me your will, I now got to do your will. See, it's one thing to take notes in here. It's another thing to apply the notes to it. Amen, son. It's one thing to go and write some stuff down. It's another thing to work out what you wrote down. At some point, I'm going to acknowledge you're my God. I'm going to accept you have the best path for my life. But then I'm going to apply what you told me to do. And I know if I go out and step out on faith, I'm walking by faith and not by sight. I'm going to come through as you promised I should. Read this with me again. For you are my God. Teach me to do your will. And then the last one I want to talk about right here is the R. So, and I love this. Righteousness. God's, verse 11. Righteousness. God's righteousness brought my life out of trouble. David, now, what's happening now? David is giving us an example of spiritual maturity. Saul is still out there trying to kill him. Still out there. If you look outside there, Saul's arm is ready. But David says, in the midst of all this, God's righteousness brought my life out of trouble. He is still physically in trouble, but spiritually knows he's been delivered. Don't you wait until you see the manifestation to know your manifestation is there. Just apply and get positioned to receive what God has already promised. He's already promised breakthrough. He's already promised more than enough. He's already promised an extraordinary life. If I don't see it right now, stand there, trust him, rely on him. Because at that point, David is in a cave saying, at this point, God, your righteousness has delivered me out of trouble. If I walk outside, I can see the trouble. And you know the men beside me, like, what you talking about? You've been delivered. That's still right there. No, your faith says you already been delivered. You already been set free. You already been healed. You already been made forth. You already been made prosperous. So I don't care what it looks like or feels like right now, to accept that God has already done what God said he's done. Let's read our declaration from this part as well. At this point, this is our declaration for 2019. Let's read this together. I declare that 2019 is my year of phenomenal favor. Anybody ready to embrace your phenomenal favor? Give God a one more hand and praise to embrace it in Jesus' name. I declare that I am what? Finding joy in my journey. I declare that I'm what? Accepting God's will for my life. I declare that I'm what? Applying God's word in my life. I declare that I'm what? Anointed for God's work in my life. I declare I'm what? Victorious in some areas. Every area of life. I declare that I'm what? overflowing in God's abundance. And last I declared out what? Remembering